Hey guys, it's Shocky. Some might even say Coach Shocky. If you are a new Fortnite player or you started playing Fortnite within the last 2 to 3 years, this video may help you. I am going to be giving you some tips, tricks, some cool facts, and things to help you in Fortnite with mobility, playing defensively, offensively, being super secure in your movements or rotations. This is mainly for zero build, but everything can be applied to build mode, obviously. I've been playing this game for the entirety of its lifespan. I've been playing this game since season 0, before the item shop was a thing. I've been playing this game, so for me, everything that's been added to the game, I've learned it and mastered it over time. Except for editing, I'm garbage. But for anyone who started playing recently, Fortnite's got so much stuff. You're gonna be overloaded with things to do, things to learn. And with me, right, I learn stuff over time. So when an old item comes back to the game, I'm good. I understand it. I know how to use any weapon in reload or blitz as it comes back out. But for the new player, a bunch of old weapons are new. Like maybe this is someone's first time using the tactical assault rifle this season, but it's been in the game since season 9 chapter 1, you know what I mean? So lots of things change, and for people starting now, it's kind of different than if you had started way back then. So I'm hoping this helps you out. It's a bit of a long one, but please bear with me. There's gonna be segments, and there's gonna be mobility and utility. There's gonna be rotations, like map layout and where to position yourself depending on where the enemy is. Then there's going to be tips on bunkers, and there's going to be tips on all of the weapons in the current loot pool right now. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy this, and share this with people, share this with your friends, anyone that you think might need help with these tips. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions on certain things, I can make more videos and give you guys more tips and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy. Let's start off with one of the first things I want to point out. I don't know if everyone knows this. This was added last year, season 1, right? Chapter 6, season 1. Okay, with the wall climbing feature, where if you sprint and jump and hold the jump button, you will run up an entire tile. And so if you jump right at a 2 wall height, you make it up. So about 7 meters from the wall, you jump, hold the jump button, you'll make that mantle. Now I'm going to talk about hurdling. Okay, I know a lot of people struggle with this. In the settings, there's hold forward or hold to jump. Well, that's for mantle. Hold to jump is better. Holding forward is stupid because you lose control. Holding jump for mantle is how you want it. Holding forward for hurdle is better. So you won't just by standing here and jumping, you can't hurdle. By pushing forward and pressing A, you hurdle. Or if you're sprinting, you automatically hurdle. So that is how hurdling works. There we go. I know a lot of people struggle with hurdling, especially Mel. She will get stuck on windows all the time, and then she pulls out the shockwave and destroys the whole place. Here's another thing that I don't see many people talking about, okay? So let's say we really like Storm is on us, right? Storm's on us, and we're trying to pick up the pace. What do? Look for ledges as you're going, right? Look for any ledges, and do that jump. Do that jump, because not only do you make it farther, but it's faster. It's slightly faster than if you ran the distance. Now, I want to explain something with gliding. Oh, can't throw launch pads there. Did you know that? So you see how your glider automatically pulls, right? What I want to explain here is that with okay, see, it is the same. There is a certain height depending on when you're gonna land that your glider pulls. So because I was hovering above the ground, it pulled my glider later. But if I'm hovering over this building, it's gonna pull my glider earlier. So when you're picking where to land and you want to know how high you want your glider to pull and when to pull it, position yourself properly. This is mainly important from when you're jumping from the bus. Okay, because sometimes, let's say I wanted to land on these buildings and there's someone else going for the building. You're going to want to come at it on an angle so that you pull your glider, and then you get to the building first, right? I pulled my glider, I land here, boom. Launch pads can be used as as protection too. So look, never mind. But look, over here, this is more when I would use it. If there's people with high ground, I might throw a launch pad at the up top in front of me to create some cover. And if the launch pad survives, guess what? Oh my gosh, it's really hard. But yeah, you can easily, if you only put it one tile above you, you can easily sprint and jump to the launch pad and use it. So here's tips for the grappler. 30 meters is your distance. So that is about, actually wait, how many meters is one tile? 5. So that means every 6 tiles you can grapple. And so let's say I want to get full use of this grappler, right? I'm gonna slide, jump, right. Look at that. If someone was trying to shoot me, that makes it harder, right. And then if you want even more force with your grapple, you shoot it, jump, and sprint, and you get that extra movement, right? It's really nice. Here's some things I want to go over with the crash pads. We all know that if you double jump, you throw a crash pad. But sometimes it's not consistent. As you see right there, it didn't always work. So I find that if you're sprinting, it's not consistent. Sometimes it works, right? But the best way I find is to throw it, sprint, and boom. Right? And even jumping right as you throw it, that might add a bit more distance and height to it. But you always want to make sure, depending on what you're using the crash pad for. Let's say I just want to go up here. I'm gonna go like that, right? I'm gonna sprint, hold A to get that mantle. But sometimes you don't want to go that far. So you hit it like that, right? You don't sprint. But sprinting helps with distance. See that? Look at that distance. You always want to make sure that you're using, you're sprinting whenever you hit something that gives you that low gravity effect. Same with shockwaves, guys. I see people using shockwaves horribly. One time I saw someone use 12 shockwaves to escape a squad, and this is how they were using it, right? And then they hit the terrain. They get stuck on the terrain. Sometimes it's a bit sloped, so you shockwave and you bounce off of it, or the terrain is so perfectly sloped that when you shockwave, it instantly ends your mobility, your movement. And so the best way to use shockwaves, right? Throw it, sprint, jump, and that distance is crazy. If you don't jump, you just go forward. If you walk and jump, you'll still go forward, but not as much. And then you slide, jump. Those are bunny hops, right? And by just using one shockwave, we traveled 100. Oh no, we traveled so much farther. 150 meters of one shockwave, right? So conserve your shockwaves. Shockwaves are so important. I know they are currently vaulted, but they should be coming back in February, and they are still in reload. So these tips still apply. So that's it. Oh, one more tip with shockwaves. Okay, let's say someone's in this building, 2 tiles away. You put a shockwave down, boom. See, okay. So it's just the distance of the shockwave to me. Look at that. If there was a guy boxed up in here, I'd land here, and then boom, I switch to my shotgun, and I annihilate him. I do it all the time. It's a great strat. Some people, I know Mel, she's only used the wingsuit a few times. She doesn't use it a lot, but she struggles with it sometimes, right? It's similar to the web wings from Spider-Man. So if you want to go up, you look up. You want to go down, you look down. It actually makes a lot of sense. It's not like inverted or anything. I always thought the wingsuit was inverted, but to keep going, you got to look down and gain speed, right? You got to go down and up. See how long we kept this wingsuit for? Like, we were able to go around tilted without landing. But you are an easy target when gliding, so depending on the situation, you don't really want to be in the air for too long, and you just want to go straight down. So wingsuits are pretty easy. They're not too difficult. But some people might get confused, and I'm pretty sure you could invert the settings on wingsuits if that affects you. And now bunkers. There are some tips that I've known forever, and some tips that I just recently discovered. Okay? With a bunker, you throw it down. It has tires all along the side. these tires prevent you from climbing up it. Okay? They're very, very frustrating. The only way to mantle into a bunker is to destroy the tires or, okay, mantling from the corner. If you mantle from the corner, you're able to get in. Unless they're too close to the tire as you mantle. But most times, you make it up that corner. It is very rare to not get up to that corner. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that. I don't often see people jumping into my own bunkers like that. And knowing that that's the only way up, that's kind of like where you want to make sure like you focus. You don't let them get to that corner. Just in case they try doing it to you. Another thing with bunkers, right? Whenever you throw it, it's always going to place... Wait a minute. The direction stays... Hold on, wait. If I turn around... Never mind. The bunker always places how you're facing it. So here is a really, really, really cool feature that I learned super recently. You want to stand about 21 meters, right, from the bunker. You see how it's facing away from me? Right? So I want to flip that bunker. What I'm going to do is look straight up. And now that bunker should land right on it. You'll have a chance to shoot them as it flips the bunker, right? They'll either be up there, over there, or inside. If they're inside, they do have a bit of protection, but way less compared to what was just there. And then they might have the right-hand peak on you, which is there like that. They could do some damage to you. But if they're on this side, they're kind of they're messed. They're messed. They don't know what to do. You know, they're dying. They're dying. And in case you're wondering, why is the right-hand peak so important? Because you hold the gun with your right hand. Having that right-hand peak leaves you the least exposed. This person, these people, they're going to struggle. If they try to shoot me right now, they're most likely losing the fight. They even have high ground, they're losing the fight. But if I'm over here, I have to completely expose myself. We don't want that. So if you were stuck on this side, move through the door. But again, you're a bit less exposed all around you. So you always want to keep the right-hand peak in bunkers. So that's why I always favor... I kind of go like that, and then if I have to, turn around, go like that. So this is the enemy bunker, okay? You place your bunker to rush them. You replace their tires, but your tires are still there. That can be used, throwing the bunker there, that could be used to like push enemies out of their bunker. But you got to remember that those tires are there. And so you got to like go underneath and break them if you want to keep your little base for later. Like if you end up winning the fight and you want to keep this, you don't want to leave those tires there. It's going to mess you up. And now one more thing I want to show off with the bunkers. If you want to gain height with it, if you throw it, you see that? Oh, that does work. That works. That works. You could throw it right on top. But then you lose the staircase below, so it does expose you. Or, if you want to push with it, you aim at the corner. And it will always place the bunker. You aim at the corner. If you don't aim at the corner, it's not going to work. Actually, wait. You might... No, see? You cannot throw it at the walls. It will place next to it. And now one more thing I want to show off while in a bunker. This little barrier here, it makes you have to expose your head a lot more to shoot over it. So I recommend, if the enemies are here, get rid of it. It's only making you an easier target because of how high you're pushing your head up. So the big bush bomb, currently I think it's only in... I don't know if it's in zero build right now. I can't remember. But this has been a thing ever since big bushes were added to the game. They negate fall damage. If you land in a big bush, you don't take fall damage. I would have taken 500 fall damage from that fall. So if you have a big bush bomb, it's not just for cover, it's for negating fall damage. Let's say this is an end game, right? Zero build, or playing zero build, it's an end game. We're over here, okay? There's people over there, and there's people over here. They have high ground, right? We're kind of exposed. So if we were to try and shoot them, we would want to back it up and use this as cover, right? Let me show you every possible example, actually. So circle's moving towards them. We need to get to this building. What do? Okay, we're starting over here. So first off, we have a good angle because right here, unbreakable, right? So they can't break this at all. So by holding this position, we're kind of safe, and they're gonna struggle trying to shoot us. But they do have the high ground on us, so that is a bit of a threat. But once we're crouched here, we're fine. If we're standing, a little bit dangerous. But this is honestly pretty safe. But because circle's moving, we have to move. So you could either go, honestly, you could go straight down the middle, which would be stupid. It'd be pretty difficult because if you use this for cover, assuming we don't have bunkers or any mobility, we're gonna die there. We're gonna die getting to that. And assuming that these two teams don't shoot each other. But let's say this team gets their attention or they start shooting at that team. That would be your chance to run. And 100% best option, running this way. Okay? But let's say this is closed off. We can't really use all of this. This is good for cover. Okay? Right hand peek, back up, shoot over the top, and then you could run over here. This is actually this is kind of dangerous, so you would want to tunnel right through the building. Okay? And then let's say we tunnel through. Now we're over here. Let's say Storm's here. This is all closed off, okay? We have to worry about that team. So what you want to do is just keep your eye on that team, right? Back up so they can't see you as much. And then once you're here, right? You keep yourself hidden. Remember, in late game, every shot counts. I know in zero build you have your overshield, but pretending like imagine you don't have that overshield. You don't want to take any damage, okay? Every bullet matters. People are going to run out of healing soon. And then we're able to mantle through here, and we're safe, okay? Now let's say we had to go the other way. I would start by going up here, okay? People in front of me can't see me. Those guys can. Stay crouched because you don't know visual audio, how far it reaches, and if those people hear us. Okay. Those guys are still a threat, so we got to kind of make a sprint over here. And then we would kind of hold this position. And because of this team in front of us, you don't want to get stuck in a fight with them and them. So you would just have to wait it out and wait for Storm to start moving. And at some point, when Storm starts moving, people will lose. They will change their position. They'll move. Okay? So that's, you just, out of sight, you're fine. If you can't take damage, you don't have to worry about taking damage. Like, it is so simple. You really gotta be aware of the map, the high ground, the angles that they could see you, and as long as you're not visible, you are not dying. Like, you're set. People will not shoot down walls and walls and walls because the more that they're shooting and exposed, the more chances for them to get shot by someone else. I'm going to go over every weapon in the current loot pool. With the Flex SMG, a very, very good gun. It shoots faster at the hip and slower while aiming, but the shots do more damage. Isn't that cool? So the fire rate's 8 to 12.5. So that's hip firing, right? Look at that. Pretty quick, right? Oh, is there no damage numbers? Oh, no, there is. Okay. So yeah. 17 to the body. 26 to the head. So it's pretty quick. If you want to maximize your damage with this, you want to crouch for that slightly less bloom. But then aiming, this thing's a laser. 27 and 41. That's crazy. Honestly, that is very, 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 very powerful for an SMG. This SMG is very solid. I have no complaints. Then with the Hollow Rush SMG, it is a way more accurate crosshair. The crosshair is way more accurate. It does have a faster fire rate consistently aiming and unaiming, but because of the scope, there's zero bloom. There is no bloom with the scope. You know, the damage is different, but because of its accuracy, it can't be as strong as the Flex. The dual micro SMGs, these things shred. They really, really, really shred. But the bullets do spread a bit more. And I find that hip firing sometimes kind of scary. It feels very loose, very, very like, ugh. So I found that the best way to use this is to if in situations where you're able to like approach them, right? You get close and then boom, you shred them, and then you switch to your shotgun to get that finishing hit. A lot of people are hating on the tactical pistol. This is from Chapter 4. This pistol was amazing in Chapter 4. I would use it all the time. And what's good about pistols is they have a 2 times multiplier for headshots and first shot accuracy. SMGs don't have first shot accuracy. Unless you're using the scoped one, the Hollow Rush, you're not getting first shot accuracy. So first shot accuracy is when the crosshair closes all the way. That means your bullet will 100% go in that spot, in that direction. But without first shot accuracy, the bullets, it's a bit more random. There's more bloom involved. The reload time, like you're doing a lot of damage. It's a bit less accurate compared to other guns once you're fully spraying and they're moving. I find the other guns are a little bit easier to track, but that headshot is really good. If we line up our crosshair, I missed. I didn't hit the headshot. So you gotta raise the ticks. You're no longer using the crosshair, you're using the lines. So I think the second tick, the little tick, still too high. So at 100 meters, you just want to slightly raise it. No, 150 meters. Not gonna lie, snipers are pretty goated this season. The twin hammer shotgun. Okay, this is close to your tac shotgun. Okay, fast fire rate, good damage. The spread it's a decent spread. So at range, it's not bad. 50, 40s, 50s, 40s. And then, you know, you get up close, you're doing a lot more damage. Maybe not. That was kind of mid. What was that, 40? Come on. I'm point blank to the guy. How is that doing 40? I think these dummies are kind of glitched because there's no way that should be doing 40. Good. It's a very solid shotgun for the season. Then we have the iron pump. My issue with this pump is it's slow. I hate pumps for being so slow. And so the way I would use it in a fight is honestly like you start the fight off with a pump, switch to your faster firing gun, and finish him off. And then we have the Sovereign, which is also good with range. Look at that nice spread. And the fire rate's faster. So if I were to rank the shotguns, I would go Iron Pump, Sovereign, and the Twin Fire. The reason I don't like the Sovereign up close is I find that when I'm jumping around and people are moving around, I hit the spread is just a little bit too wide and I don't do enough damage consistently. But if I'm hitting people with this, the spread's tighter, you're doing more damage. We have the Deadeye Assault Rifle. This gun, honestly, is perfect. Hip fire, aiming, either way, any way you want to look at it, it's good. You got 100% accuracy with every bullet. There's no bloom. The bullet's going to go where you're aiming. Okay? This is the most reliable assault rifle in the game. The only issue is when you're up close and they're moving a lot. Aiming isn't really an option sometimes. So you got to hip fire and you might not be as comfortable hip firing with it. That's why the other assault rifles are kind of nice because it's a good in-between. So the tactical assault rifle was originally added to be a hybrid. It was supposed to be an in-between close range, like a closer range AR. That's why it uses light ammo. And but now the text here says it makes it a devastating weapon at medium to long range. So that is a little strange. But the damage is lower. Actually, well, I feel like they buffed this. I think this assault rifle got buffed a lot since Chapter 1. But the original idea is that it was meant to be used closer compared to other assault rifles. But this gun does have a very tight bullet spread. And you can laser people from far away, up close. The only issue is that if your target's moving, you're hitting less shots. That's where it's weaker. This gun's very good at tracking targets, and so is the Enforcer. The tactical AR is more for like closer range, spray, mints, right? Long range, if they're standing still, you're gonna get like a nice good amount of shots in. But if you really want to be like you wanna dominate from long range and track your targets, this assault rifle, it's crazy. 71 headshot, 42 to the body. This gun in reload, this is my favorite gun in reload right now. It's accuracy. It's got very low recoil. The bullet spread's not too much. The hammer assault rifle was my go-to main guy. I've replaced him with the Enforcer. I will pick up an Enforcer over a hammer any day now. Most driving games, you use the right trigger. I don't know what most people do in Fortnite, but I find that because you use the left stick to turn and it also accelerates your car, using your right trigger, it just messes you up. So, like, I've seen clips. There are a lot of bad drivers on Fortnite. People will just drive right through gas stations. It's not good. It's bad. So, best tip with driving, use the left stick. And do not touch that right trigger, because it will throw you off. And then, to make really nice sharp turns, you press the right bumper or the left bumper. Both work. I prefer the right bumper. And it gives you a lot of control on your car and helps you navigate. It's really good. You can have a lot of control with your vehicles, and I find that a lot of people just kind of just gun it, and they don't have much control on turning, and they hit a lot of things. But you could drive very carefully. See that? Like, I feel like a lot of people would have got stuck there. One more thing, I don't have an SUV to practice this with, but the SUVs, when you drift with them, it is not as tight. You do not drift the same. With a car, I could do this nice U-turn. If I used an SUV, I'd be drifting all the way into the sidewalk and around, and it's a way longer turn. So, SUVs are a lot different. You can't steer them the same way. And one more thing, in case people don't know this, cars drive faster on roads and builds. So if you had a passenger, he could build you a ramp, right? And you would drive faster on the builds than you do on terrain, like regular natural terrain. I'm pretty sure you drive faster. But yeah, that is pretty much all the tips I could think of for this video. If I come up with anything else, I'll let you guys know. Make sure you use code SHOCKY and check out all of my combos, my gameplay videos, and everything like that.